Nike Vandals. They're not for everyone.
October 18th, 1984. Nike receives a letter from the NBA official letterhead, stamped, serious. The Air Jordan basketball shoe violates league uniform policy. Michael Jordan is prohibited from wearing them during games. $1,000 every time he steps on court. Every game. For a company already under serious pressure, this should have been a disaster. Most companies would have apologized, changed the colors, begged for forgiveness. Nike did something that made no sense. They ran ads about it, and that decision helped transform Nike from a struggling sports company into one of the most influential brands in modern culture. But to understand why, you have to understand the pressure, the deal, and the rookie who said no 3 times. By early 1984, Nike was under real pressure. Sales growth had slowed, and the running boom that built the company was fading, and Nike's stock had fallen sharply from its earlier highs. A decade earlier, Nike had been unstoppable. The running boom of the 1970s turned a small Oregon shoe importer into a $300 million giant. Phil Knight built the company from the trunk of his car.
It started as on the running track at the University of Oregon, where my old track coach was always experimenting with shoes.
Runners wore the swoosh like a religion. Then the clock struck midnight. Running was losing cultural momentum. Basketball was capturing it. Magic Johnson and Larry Bird had just revived the NBA. Television ratings were climbing, college basketball was exploding, and Nike's basketball market share? 3%, not 30, 3. Converse dominated the NBA. Adidas owned the street culture. Nike was a running company trying to speak a language they didn't understand. Inside Beaverton headquarters, the energy had shifted from confidence to urgency. Nike stock had fallen sharply. Investors were nervous. The company knew it needed a new direction. Half the board wanted to play it safe, focus on running, protect what they already had. The other half believed Nike needed to move into basketball, and fast. Phil Knight listened to both sides. Then he chose option 3, burn the ships. Nike scouts had been studying the 1984 NBA draft class for 18 months. One file kept getting thicker, not just stats, psych profiles, interviews with teammates at North Carolina, coaches, his mother Dolores. They watched game tape until the film burned. Michael Jordan wasn't just the best player in the draft. He was a different species, 6'6", but he played like he was 6'10". And he could hang in the air so long it looked like he was editing physics. But talent isn't enough. Nike had seen talented players before. What they saw in Jordan was something else. Charisma that filled a room. A competitive rage that bordered on pathological. Jordan didn't just want to win. He needed to destroy you. But Jordan didn't want Nike. His dream was Adidas. Run DMC was rapping about them. The hip-hop connection was real. Converse was safe. The NBA standard. Nike, they made running shoes. Jordan said no. Nike called again. Another no. They called a third time. Another no. 3 rejections. For most companies, that would have been the end. Nike kept calling. So Nike's marketing director, Rob Strasser, did something that broke every rule in sports business. He didn't pitch a shoe. He pitched a revolution. One, they flew Jordan to Nike headquarters in Beaverton, Oregon. Custom presentation, no expense spared, and Strasser walked in with a proposal that made no financial sense on paper. We're not asking you to wear our shoes. We're building an entire brand around you, your name, your style, your DNA. We're calling it Air Jordan, and you own it with us.
Air Jordan by Nike.
Jordan took the deal, and the rest is sneaker history.
Then came the number. Not 250,000, not 500,000, $2.5 million. Guaranteed, plus a percentage of every shoe sold, forever. No athlete had ever received this. Not in basketball, not in football, not in any sport in human history. Jordan's agent, David Falk, thought it was a marketing gimmick, a trick. Jordan's mother, Dolores, saw something else. Partnership, respect, a company willing to bet everything on her son. She told Michael, go listen. Nike, be polite, then decide. Jordan flew to Oregon expecting to say no. He left with a $2.5 million deal and a company betting its entire future on a kid who had never played a single NBA minute. The board thought Knight had lost his mind. They were half right. He'd lost his fear. But Nike didn't just need Jordan to sell shoes. They needed shoes worth selling, shoes that didn't exist. Enter Peter Moore, Nike's creative director. Brilliant, difficult, obsessive. His mission? Create something that violated every rule. Basketball shoes in 1984 looked like medical equipment. White, bulky, boring. The NBA had strict uniform codes. 51% white minimum, conservative, invisible. Players were supposed to look interchangeable, forgettable. Moore looked at Jordan. Jordan played like he was angry at gravity itself. Explosive, violent, beautiful. He needed shoes that looked dangerous. So Moore broke the code. Black leather base, blood red accents, a swoosh that screamed. The Air Jordan 1 wasn't designed to follow rules. It was designed to break them. And here's what most people don't know. Moore knew the NBA rulebook. He built the violation into the design. Nike's legal team had calculated the fines before the shoe launched. The controversy wasn't an accident. It was architecture. October 18, 1984. The letter arrives, $1,000 per game. For most companies, this should have been a disaster. Instead, Nike ran commercials celebrating the ban. On October 15th, Nike created a revolutionary new basketball shoe. On October 18th, the NBA threw them out of the game. Fortunately, the NBA can't stop you from wearing them. That line, that single line, it turned a corporate penalty into teenage rebellion, a uniform violation into cultural war. Every kid in America understood immediately. These shoes were forbidden. The phones at Nike didn't ring, they melted. Retailers who ordered 500 pairs demanded 5,000. Kids lined up outside stores at 4 in the morning. First-year projection, $3 million. Actual sales, $126 million. 42 times the forecast. Nike had manufactured rebellion, weaponized controversy. Every news story about the ban was worth millions in free advertising. This wasn't luck. This was psychological warfare dressed as marketing, and it created a blueprint Nike would use for decades. But the real genius wasn't the shoe, or the ads, or even Jordan. It was the shift in what Nike was actually selling. Before Jordan, Nike sold performance. After Jordan, Nike sold identity. Who you could become, the version of yourself that doesn't quit. The product became the costume. The story became the product. 3 words, launched 4 years later. Just do it. Human courage. The refusal to let your current self limit your future self. Nike understood something many companies still miss. People don't buy products. They buy the feeling those products represent. Today, the Jordan brand generates over $5 billion every year, all from a decision that once looked irrational. But here's what keeps me up at night. Nike made the craziest decision in sports business history, and it worked. But they only made it because they had to. Because safe wasn't an option. Because the alternative was irrelevance. Blockbuster had the chance to buy Netflix for $50 million. They passed. Profitable, safe, gone in 5 years. Kodak invented digital photography in 1975. They hit it. Film was too profitable, safe, bankrupt by 2012. Nokia owned 40% of mobile phones. They clung to buttons while Apple bet on glass. Safe, gone. Safety is the riskiest strategy of all, because safety assumes the world stays the same, and the world never stays the same. Nike didn't win because they were smarter. Adidas had better basketball shoes in 1984. Nike won because they were more desperate, more willing to look reckless, more willing to bet $2.5 million on a kid who said no 3 times. So here's the uncomfortable question. What are you clinging to right now that's actually limiting you? The safe strategy? The proven playbook? With the identity that made sense last year but doesn't fit anymore? Nike bet $2.5 million in their entire future on a 21-year-old who didn't want them. It was irrational, disrespectful to every business school textbook, and perfect. Most people watching this will nod, feel inspired, Then go back to the safe choice, the reasonable plan, the guaranteed mediocrity, and they'll be fine, comfortable, and completely forgotten. But someone here is at a turning point. Someone just realized they've been holding back, playing smaller than they should. Someone is ready to make a decision that doesn't fit the standard playbook. If that's you, comment "bet" below. Not for the algorithm, for yourself. A marker, so you remember this moment. The moment you chose forward over comfortable, or don't. Keep the plan that looks perfect on paper. The safe reputation, the path everyone expects. Nike didn't become Nike by following the standard playbook, and you won't build what you're capable of by staying in the safe lane. The question isn't whether you can afford to take the risk, it's whether you can afford to keep waiting.